Our bodies are our temples for the Lord, not another place, not another building. This temple is the Lord's. And anything that we eat is a sacrifice to Him. Food is a sacrifice. It is a covenant, a vow with God, with your temple, because we are made in the likeness of Him. So what are we supposed to eat? Because anything that we are not supposed to eat, that we are eating, is a sacrifice to another God, another idol. And we don't want to eat the sacrifices of other gods and disobey our God. So in Deuteronomy chapter 14, He tells us what we are to eat and what we are not to eat. Verse 3 in chapter 14 says, "You shall not eat any detestable thing. These are the animals which you may eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat." I've never seen an ox. "The deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the mountain goat, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. You may eat every animal with cloven hooves, having this hoof split into two parts." That is a cloven hoof, when it's split into two. "And that chews the cud among the animals. Nevertheless," and I will tell you what cud is in just a moment. "Nevertheless, of those that chew the cud or have cloven hooves, you shall not eat such as these: the camel, the hare, and the rock hyrax. For they chew the cud, but do not have cloven hooves. They are unclean for you. Also the swine is unclean for you, because it has cloven hooves, yet does not chew the cud." Chewing cud is a good thing. "You shall not eat their flesh or touch their dead carcasses. These you may eat of all that are in the waters. You may eat all that have fins and scales, and whatever does not have fins and scales you shall not eat. It is unclean for you." That would include shellfish like crab, unclean for you. "All clean birds you may eat, but these you shall not eat: the eagle, the vulture, the buzzard, the red kite, the falcon, and the kite after their kinds, every raven after its kind, the ostrich, the short-eared owl, the seagull, the hawk after their kinds, the little owl, the screech owl, the white owl, the jackdaw, the carrion vulture, the fisher owl, the stork, the heron after its kind, and the hoopoe and the bat. Also, every creeping thing that flies is unclean for you. They shall not be eaten." Bugs. "You may eat all clean birds. You shall not eat anything that dies of itself. You may give it to the alien who is within your gates, that he may eat it, or you may sell it to a foreigner. For you are a holy people to the Lord your God." So there are plenty. He never mentions chicken. "And beef, they have cloven hooves," which are hooves that are split into two, and they do chew the cud. And cud, because I said, what is cud? Cud is a portion of food that returns from a ruminant's stomach to the mouth to be chewed for the second time. More precisely, it is a bolus, which is a small amount of semi-degraded food regurgitated from the reticulum of a ruminant. Cud is produced during the physical digestive process of rumination. So I wondered, is cud vomit, or how does this work? Why would that be so good for something to regurgitate their food, chew it a second time, than us to eat that? So chewing cud produces saliva, which is important for controlling rumen acidity. Too much acid hinders the growth and function of the rumen. So when cows chew their cud, they create saliva, and this saliva contains a natural antacid, which helps to buffer the rumen, or first compartment, of their stomachs. A sick cow will lose their cud, meaning their digestive system is just not functioning properly. Cattle rarely vomit. So it's not vomit. Though they regurgitate it, it's not acidic. It still has not digested. So it's still actually healthy for them to do this process called chewing cud. It helps sort the material being digested and absorb nutrients by taking time to re-chew their food. So it's a good thing if they chew the cud, but they have to chew the cud and have cloven hooves, which means their hoof is split into two. They can't do one or the other. They have to do both. And nowhere does he mention chicken. I mean, beef is cloven hooves, yes, which is steak and all that. But it doesn't mention chicken, and it does mention not to eat pig. It doesn't mention crab or any type of shellfish. The things that we're out here eating is breaking the covenant with the Lord our God. How can you expect to be blessed when you don't follow in his way, when you don't follow in his footsteps? All he's asking us to do is obey him. He's saying, hey, if you listen, I have these things already for you, which is why we work so hard to get the things that we want, because we're trying to do it on our own and in our own way. But if you just listen, it's like a parent and their child, and a parent saying, hey, you do this and I'll give you this. And you're like, I do want what you have to give, but I want to do it my way. And the parent is saying, well, if you do it your way, then you're going to have to do whatever it takes to get it on your own, because I told you not to do it this way. So then you struggle and you work hard and you put in all this effort to get the things that you want just because you want to do it your way. But if you were to just do it the way that the parent is telling you, whether you want to do it that way or not, it's much easier, because they have the experience. They already have everything that you need, that you're looking for, and all they're asking you to do is follow their way of doing it, because it's not as hard as you think it is. Whether you want to do it or not, it's an easier way to go about this, and they know that way because they've been here longer. All he's saying is, hey, I have everything that you need. All you have to do is listen to me and do it my way, and I'll give it to you. You don't have to work so hard for it. All we've got to do is obey. The work is already done. Do it in his way. Obey him, abide in him and by him, and he will bless you exceedingly, abundantly, graciously, effortlessly. He will bless you. Follow God's way. Follow God's will. Do what he says. I promise he's not telling you anything to hurt you, only to help you. So help him help you, okay? Because, I mean, it's a win-win. Yes, it benefits him, but it more so benefits you, but it also still benefits him. It's for the glory of him, so that he can be glorified, meaning so that you can see, you know what, I followed his way and he was right, and God bless him. Thank you, Lord. It's so that he can be glorified, so that you can stop struggling. It's only a struggle when you don't listen. Trust God, love God, obey God.